November Towers by Mike Muncy. Part 4. The Trial of the Tower. The winds howled louder the closer it got to the top. Isaac stood barefoot on the cool glass floor of the penthouse, his reflection trembling beneath him, the lights of the city flickering far, far below. His breath fogged the transparent walls, and every time he glanced down, his stomach flipped. But he hadn't left. Not yet. The tower hadn't made it easy. Tension in the halls. Since his encounter on floor 13, things had shifted. Elevators that once obeyed simple buttons now stalled at unfamiliar stops. The AI voice that greeted him each morning began speaking in riddles. The lights on every 10th floor dimmed for exactly 13 minutes each night. And the residents, the curious, whimsical, sometimes bizarre characters who once welcomed Isaac, were now colder, distant. A few wouldn't open their doors at all. When he passed by, they whispered behind cupped hands or stared with wide, unblinking eyes. Isaac wondered, was the tower turning on him or testing him? A challenge delivered. On November 25, a drone dropped a black envelope on the penthouse balcony. It bore no return address, only a gold sigil shaped like an hourglass wrapped in ivy. Inside, a simple message. To truly inherit the tower, you must endure its trial. Face your fear, earn your place. Then, as if summoned by the words, the walls of the penthouse began to change, the tint fading, becoming perfectly clear. No shadows, no blinds, no relief. Suddenly, Isaac was suspended in the sky. The vertigo hit him like a wave. He collapsed, panting, palms sweating, gripping the only solid object in reach, the leather arm of a chair bolted to the floor. But he didn't leave. Instead, he started to think. Adapting to the tower, over the next 2 days, Isaac adapted. He learned the glass was a projected illusion, not physical transparency, a psychological trick pulled by the tower's core systems. He began to understand the tower's design. It wasn't just mechanical, it was sentient. It responded to emotion, presence, growth. To prove himself, Isaac decided to descend again, to speak with the residents who had turned cold. Floor by floor, he offered help. On floor 9, he solved a riddle that released a forgotten clockwork phoenix. On floor 26, he found a lost love letter that reconnected 2 elderly tenants who hadn't spoken in 20 years. On floor 33, he played chess with a blind librarian who had never lost a match until now. Each time, a small light lit up beside the elevator door. A sign. The tower was watching. And slowly, the residents warmed up to him again. On the night of November 29th, the tower presented its final challenge. Isaac was summoned to the roof, an open-air observatory above even the penthouse. The city spun beneath him. Wind ripped through his coat. A platform rose from the floor, a thin bridge extending over open air, ending at a floating glass pedestal. On it sat a brass key. "Do you trust the tower?" a voice whispered. "I trust myself," Isaac replied. He stepped onto the bridge. Step by step, wind howling, stars above and nothing below but death. But Isaac focused not on the fall, but on the path. He reached the pedestal, grabbed the key, and everything dissolved into light. Isaac woke in the penthouse. This time, the glass wasn't clear. It was frosted, calm, filled with warm amber glow. The key rested in his palm, and an inscription had appeared on the wall. "One more night, then the heart awaits." He had passed the tower's trial. But the final mystery still waited below, in the hidden levels no one spoke of. Tomorrow, the inheritance would be decided. By Mike Muncy.